Hey, we all know how we're gonna die, baby. We're gonna crash and burn.
Alright guys, this is a different kind of video than I normally do. I figure I'd show step by step what I did to get this poster a little bit flattened out. So if you're into this kind of stuff, if you want to see me screw something up, stick around. Or maybe I won't screw it up, who knows. First time doing this, not trying to reconstruct or whatever it. Basically trying to get it presentable is what I'm trying to do. But stick around and check out this. Alright guys, this is going to be a different kind of video. Basically going to try to fix this poster. As you can see, it's got some issues, got some tape there, so I'm going to have to take care of that. On the bottom here, it's got like a little rip. So I just want to flatten that out. I'm not really going to try to tape or glue it or anything like that. So there we go. But you can see it's been really well loved. It was probably on somebody's wall. I had a poster, this exact same poster when I was a kid. I'll tell more about that story later, but first thing I want to do is this thing, it's is rolled up, so I got to make sure it's flat before we even get started. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to end up rolling this the other opposite way than it was. I'm basically going off of YouTube. How to flatten posters and just but the first thing I'm going to do is I want to roll this back up the opposite way and see if I can get it just to lay flat. Then I think I'm going to take care of this tape part. Then the last part I want to see if I can try to flatten this out. Yeah, it should be interesting. If it doesn't work out, you'll never see this video. But yeah, it's got a lot of creases in here, so I think if I can straighten this out, it's not as bad as I thought it was with all the spine crease or the color breaking parts right there. So it's not too bad. But let's roll this thing around the opposite way. Start with that first. Alright, it seems like this poster has been rolled up in a box probably for a couple years, so I figure by watching other YouTube videos that's best to roll in the opposite direction. So I want to get a nice tight roll here. Yeah, you can see like it's dripped there, and there. There. Alright, we'll let it sit like that for hopefully about 20 minutes, then be able to hopefully flatten it out so I can get the tape off the front of the poster there. Okay, so about 20 minutes have passed. I don't expect it to be completely rolled out, but it just gives me a little bit of wiggle room. So it's probably going to spiral out. There we go. It's a lot better than what it was. I'm sure if I left this overnight or anything like that, it'd be a little bit better. Yeah, so that's already, you can already tell the difference. It's not rolling up. So the next thing I'm going to work on is There's some Scotch tape right here you can see. Try to put it towards the center of the, there we go. So I'm going to try to get rid of this tape off there. I don't want to peel it off. I mean, it could, but I don't want to risk ripping any of this stuff off here. The artwork. Because if that was the case, I would have to basically put the tape back on with another piece of tape or glue or something. So the next thing I'm going to use is a hairdryer to try to get that tape off without doing any damage. While this is going on, I'll probably play some non-copyrighted music right about now. So I'm going to try to cut a piece of this tape here. There's a still piece of tape right here, but it's on where the part of the poster has been ripped. So I might have to come back at that because it's not going to line up. I think whenever it got ripped, which is fine. There's still a piece of tape here too. If I take any more tape off here, it's just going to rip the artwork at this point. I must have to leave it like that because it's not gonna, no matter what I do, you can see right there, no matter what I do, it's not going to line up perfectly. It's still going to be so if anything, I'm going to be doing more damage trying to take this piece of tape off. I got the one I wanted off of there because it was all cloudy and nasty, but this one's at least clear. We'll see when I run. My next step is going to use an iron on this to iron it out. But we'll see what happens after that next step. I'd love to get this tape off, but I think as far as I'm going, I'm just going to keep ripping it all the way off, and I don't want to rip the rest of it off. Yeah, we'll see if we can come back to that. Maybe when I run the iron over it, it might melt it off. Who knows? Okay, so next I got a real damp towel. I wrung it out. I'm not going to show you my sink, but this is pretty damp. I'm going to start at the bottom here and work my way up to right about there. So we'll start and see. Now we're going to use the iron. It's pretty hot. I got it on pretty much medium. That's a little bit better. Do the side here again. Gonna do this a few more times here. Let's see. I had to do it on a piece of cardboard because this is one of those outdoor tables. You can, it's pretty rough, so I want to give it something a little bit more flatter. I don't have an ironing board, so. Alright. So as we can see, it's flattened out a lot more. It's actually looking pretty decent. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do the top part here also, up into this part. Then I'm going to flip it around. So just give me a second. I'll set this up for the next shot. Okay, so I redamped the washcloth. If you guys see anything that I'm doing that could help a lot more, this is my first attempt trying to do anything like this. So, but figure we'll just go like this. Put it back on. I'm pressing pretty hard on it too, so hopefully it gets out the creases. Yeah, tape's still on there pretty good, so I can't really. What I'm gonna do is get up in the upper corners here a little bit better. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is turn it upside down, so the back. I think there's like tape and stuff that somebody had on their wall or something like that. I'm not bothering don't really care about it. This is for display purposes only. I'm not only it's only be for my wall anyways, because it's a funny story. So maybe I'll talk about it right about now. Okay, this is like a brief intermission here. So I explain basically my thinking behind this poster and everything. My idea is I sort of didn't want it in perfect condition. Granted, if I found it for a nice, decent price, I would have obviously bought it, but I didn't feel like spending over, hundreds of dollars for it. I think the cheapest one I saw, and still had some defects with it, was about $115. So I got $25 into this one in about, an hour and 15 minutes worth of time. But I figure, well, 40 minutes of it is me waiting for things to dry and, unroll itself. So whatever. You get the point. But yeah. So I figure, if I had my original one, it would have had to survive about, 9 moves over the last 30 years. And would have definitely had creases, color breaks. So that's not really too much of a worry for me, because it would look probably exactly like that. Probably worse, to be honest. Well, I know it'll look worse, but but for a 30-year-old poster, I think it's looks pretty good. But anyways, back to the story. I used to have that poster that I have that was on this video. I had a Kurt Cobain one that said, "I hate myself and I want to die." Maybe I can put it right here, or you'll be able to see it next. I hate myself and I want to die. Two great posters, I guess. Uplifting. So yeah, I hate myself and I want to die, and How the Gods Kill. That's the two posters I had next to each other when I was a lad. But my girlfriend at the time bought me those posters. I wonder if she was trying to say something. So anyways, how that poster got destroyed was, we were arguing. It was like a couple years after I bought them. So it was probably like 96, 97 around that time. I had those posters up still. It's towards the end of our relationship. We were, bickering back and forth. And one day she just went like total ape shit. Like ripped my, started ripping my clothes out, took scissors to some of that shit. I didn't even do nothing wrong, you know what I mean? Not this guy. But then, we were bickering back and forth. She's giving me the, two middle fingers out the door. And I saw her, look at my posters, and I was like, shit. By the time, it's too late, man. She had that Italian temper. So and she's going out the door. She like, on my Kurt Cobain was there. Well, Kurt Cobain was on if I'm looking at the wall, left-hand side. How the Gods poster was on the right-hand side. And she's walking out the door. I see her eyes, just like, look at them. Because I'm standing off to the side. I'm like, oh, shit. Yeah. And she does the old double, like, right down. It rips perfectly. And this tape must have been, like, cemented on. I don't know how. Perfect tape. But somehow, both my posters got ripped literally right in half. And she did the old, right out the door she goes, so I'm stuck with, like, nothing. Because by the time it was, like, ripped up and it crumbled, and it was just, I didn't have YouTube to look to see how to fix that part, But that's my story. Just a lovely young lady destroyed my posters. I'm going to be politically correct right now. Nah, she's cool. It'd be something I would laugh about. No, I probably wouldn't laugh about that dancing poster, because I really like that. The Kurt Cobain one, I still like it. But, 30 years later, I'm not trying to hunt it down either. But if I do come across it, but let's get back to finishing this poster up. Hopefully I can get it in a frame today, and we can see what it looks like. Hope you enjoyed that little story. But this is the back half of the poster. You can see where where somebody had it on their wall. There's that rip right there too. It's, so if I took that apart, it might just do more damage. So I'm gonna just have to settle with that for right now. or forever. But let's get this part done here. So each half I've redamped the washcloth, so just for people paying attention at home here. Like I said, I wring it out, so it makes it a little bit easier. But yeah. Okay. Looks like it's a little bit rougher on this side, so I'm gonna be quick on this. I'm not gonna let the iron sit and let the washcloth sit on there too long because I don't want it bleeding through or anything. Okay. Okay, flip this back around. I still think I can get a little bit straighter if I had a decent ironing board. But I'm going to do that top real quick one more time here. If I can get that pressed out. Yeah. So first observations, it's a lot flatter than if you remembered, because I couldn't even keep this thing out like that. So this it flattened it out pretty good. I still think I can get it straightened, but I don't think I got, like I said, if I had an ironing board, I could get this probably pretty much flattened out or some sort of complete flat surface. I just don't have one right now, and I don't want to use it on the kitchen table and and melt something. So I think what we'll do is we'll put this in a picture frame here, a poster frame, and see what it looks like. I think once that's in the frame, it might smash this down a little bit even further. But I'm going to let it dry for, it's not wet or anything, but just let it air dry for maybe about 20 minutes, then I'll do it. And when you come back, you'll see it we'll see it in the poster frame on the wall. All right, guys, to wrap this up, it was fun completing this poster, fixing it a little bit, as much as I could with limited knowledge, limited experience, but definitely quite the learning experience. Just a flattening of a poster, and thanks to YouTube. There's so many channels I watched that showed how to do this, something like that. I think for my first try, I'd give myself a good C+. Still think I could get that a little bit more straightened. When I get the camera a little bit closer, you'll probably be able to see, but I think I need a flatter surface. Like I said it multiple times already, so if I get a flatter surface, I think I can get that a little bit more flat. But I'm going to leave it in there for a month or two, then maybe revisit it here. We'll see how it after it settles in there for a little bit. But I think if I can like I said, after 2 months I might be able to take it back out, maybe straighten it out even a little bit more. So the color breaks, and we're not going to do nothing about that, but I'll show you in a couple minutes with the close-up. uh, overall, this was a fun video to make, fun time. Just going down memory lane with thinking about my ex-girlfriend and stuff like that. uh, to be young again. It was yeah, it was quite the. I mean, yeah, if you're mad at me, that's cool, man. But don't take it out on Danzig and the Biz. You know what I mean? They didn't do nothing to you. They need to involve them too. You know. But yeah, yeah, it's like to quote the Vince Neil, you know, girl, don't go away mad. Girl, just go away. But it's all cool. So, but next up, I gotta. Hopefully, I'll have a comic book video out maybe this Sunday or the Sunday after. This is gonna probably come out on a Friday. Uh, been sick. Family's been sick. Yeah, my kids have been sick. I'm sure everybody else is going through it, so enough talking about it. I'm tired of talking about it. But yeah, hopefully it's definitely gonna be a erotic video. So if you're into the more Danzig related stuff, that's gonna be up next. All right, guys, I'll talk to you next time. So I'm gonna get a close-up shot of this poster here, right about now. So yeah, this is in the dark here. You can actually see a lot of the flaws now. I still think I can get some of these creases out right here. But for the color breaks, that's not coming out. I was thinking maybe I could do like a little touch up to it, but I think I'm really happy with this. The only thing I'm really not thrilled about is that right there, but let's see if we can get a wide angle.